Hello and welcome to the New Age Geeks channel. If you're new here, we build an inclusive space for people of all walks of life through the power of friendship, magic, and tabletop role-playing games. Tonight we have Forging Fate, the sober D&D campaign set the Critical Role world of Exandria, following our adventuring party, the Fists of Fate. What's up, Fists?
What is up? Happy
Hello.
Monday. Just a quick little reminder for everybody watching right now is that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us up here on the screen. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in this community that we are growing together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you can. Just subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels and join our Discord, where you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Love you. And chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Please do remember that the best way to help us out is with engagement. So we'd greatly appreciate if you'd watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, to let these platforms know to share us with everybody else. And then beyond that, we have posts going up on Instagram, on Twitter, and TikTok. So if you are on those platforms, make sure to follow us for more geeky goodness.
If you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime absolutely free. And that scores you a free 1-month subscription to the channel of your choosing. Every month you will need to go in and resubscribe to that channel, or a new one, but it's a small price to pay to not have to pay a price at all. So use that on us. If you find yourself in a charitable mood, you may subscribe on Twitch and YouTube, gift subscriptions to others, cheer using bits, donate via PayPal. We have a merch shop with dozens of choices for you to buy things for yourself and your loved ones. And we even have a Patreon for you to subscribe to. Lastly, if you wish to become a sponsor, please reach out to us via our Instagram page to begin those discussions.
Now, what about that music we're listening to?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. If you enjoy the music we have going on here on Forging Faith, we highly recommend checking out the SonCraft bot. SonCraft bot allows you to play open source community selected music and soundscapes directly from your Discord server with just a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use the audio stress-free. With their pro level subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40 plus music genres and 20 plus soundscape types, global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral code NAG, that's N-A-G, you get $2 off your subscription for the first 3 months. All you need to do to get started is invite the SonCraft bot of your choosing into your server, then just hit play and let SonCraft take care of the rest.
Amazing.
That being said, I need to post this link into our chat. This is a link to the She-Her Awards, in which our amazing Gem has been nominated for Creator of the Year. Woo! So, we would love it if you can get on there, click the link, click to vote, and then just find Gem. It's in alphabetical order, and hit the little heart next to her name to vote for her. Gem, do you have an acceptance for your nomination speech right now, just on off the top of your head? Just quick, anything? Okay, good. Nailed it. Let's see here. Anything else I'm missing? CC, did you see that the audio is low?
Yep, I got it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, if you guys have nothing, I've got nothing. Let's dive into tonight's episode of Forging Fates. And we are back. So, picking up where we last left off, starting last session, Gem, or rather, her character that she plays, Whisper, had been placed into a unconscious state by the Gathok, the druid who had made some sort of deal with one of the primordials, sending Whisper into another realm at least in her mind, where she came face to face with the primordial of death, Nox.
Yeah, what a dick.
What?
What a
What a
dick.
dick.
He was. They were. It is an amazing young lady, and it likes to be, just living its life, or death rather. Um, from there, a battle of wills and ideologies clashed, in which Whisper was able to resist some attempts of the Nox to take over Whisper's soul completely. But there was a price paid, as eventually regaining consciousness, Whisper would come to learn that her hand that summons the blade, as the black that has been seeping into it is progressed a lot further now and appears to be in some way cursed or altered. From there, the team discussed their plans, eventually deciding to return to Western via transport via plants, and they would return to Western. Entering in, they saw that the automatons that the Spellwright had been constructing, at least some models had been finished and had taken up guard outside of Western, causing some concern. And they would eventually make their way back to their residence, seeing that the construction that they had ordered was completed, and they would come across a housekeeper, which had been hired by Clover's sister, Esther. Letters were delivered to two of our members, and eventually they would retire to their rooms, where we ended the session last time. So, picking up from there, as you all kind of make your way off to your own rooms, the floor is all yours. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Fennec just sort of probably is just spending time resting, filling out her journal, keeping an ear out to see if anybody goes in or out of their rooms or anything. But she's mainly thinking a whole lot about what's to come in the next few days. So she's got a lot on her mind. I've got a lot on my mind.
I had gone upstairs to get that letter that our housekeeper had said arrived for me. And I'll come back down reading it. And Joe, I did see that you had sent me a written out letter, or typed out letter anyway. So I do appreciate that, and I went through that earlier. And to everybody else, I'm gonna say I'm gonna need to go to the Cobalt Soul at some point.
To take your test?
If they'll still let me do it, yeah. But if nothing else, to report in, because they don't really have any updates since we left.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. My report is essentially just going to be my entire journal at this point. Because I've been documenting everything we've been going through. I don't really know what they're gonna ask of me, but I'm gonna have to do this for me. I'm not gonna make this everybody's problem though. So If you want to join me, you can. If you don't, you're not expected to, nor do you have to. But that's something I got to do while we're here.
What else do we have to do while we're here?
We do have to inform Lord Mayor Kalos of the swords / primordials / possible monsters that we've unleashed by not dealing with Sammy and what's his face. And the fact that Grog is currently without hands or life.
Do we
Plan
have to
would be
tell them
appreciated.
about me?
Do you not want to?
Are they gonna take me away?
No.
How do you know that?
At this point, I'm going to speak for Tristan and say that he would step in and say, we won't let that happen.
Well, can't we just leave that part out for now, maybe? Like, we can tell them about the swords and stuff, but...
I'm going to tell the Cobalt Soul.
Okay.
We don't have to tell the mayor.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. We're going to have to address the fact that there's necrosis creeping up your arm eventually, because that's looking kind of rough. And I'm very concerned about that, and we haven't really spoken about it, and you seem very aloof and non-committal about it. So I'm wondering how much of that is just I'll avoid it until it becomes a problem, even though it's kind of already a problem.
No, it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of
Sure.
cool?
Yeah.
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 I
You
think
are
there's other
one
things to
strange
worry
little
about.
elf. I love you, but you're a strange little elf. That's not a bad thing. It's certainly not a bad thing, but you are unique, and I appreciate you. Is Clover in her room? Okay. And Finnick went to her room, so it's just the three of us. We have a stables, Joe? Like our own stable? I would assume that we put Tater Trot and Talon out there. Risotto and Cilantro are in the house with us. So I'm going to go to my room and set up a little bed for Cilantro.
Okay. All right. What are the anything specific anyone else wanted to do, or? All right.
Not
at this
immediately.
moment in time.
All right, Clover. Anything you want to do?
No, I already stomped into my room, put up a sign that says no boys allowed, slammed the door, hopped into bed, and fell asleep before I read my letter, so I'll do that in the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, that all being said, the rest of the day begins to pass by rather uneventfully. The As the sun begins to, how long would you all want to just sit in the house and kind of take this moment to yourself?
Thought we were going to bed, so I didn't have anything else planned for this day.
Okay. Well, that being said, as the day kind of begins to set, you all tending to your own small needs. Sun sets, the night is quiet for the most part. Eventually, the next day rises, and Gormrug, you hear a knock on your door first off. And as you hear Tristan's voice calling from lowly outside your door. For me.
I'll open the door.
I have to, I got summoned by someone at the Platinum Dragon Temple, so I'm going to be heading over there for the day. Not sure what it's about, but I'll keep you posted.
I swear to God, if you die, I'm bringing you back and kicking your ass.
That's fair.
I'm gonna lean my forehead into his and just say, be safe.
See you soon.
You better.
He makes his way off for the day. That being said, the morning is quickly filled with the noises of cooking as your help staff begins to prepare breakfast for all of you in the morning, getting all of the various things that you've stated you enjoy. Plenty of vegetables set out for Clover, plenty of meats prepared for Whisper, and all things in between for the rest of you.
Meats.
But the morning is all of yours. You have no one knows you're here particularly, so morning is all yours.
Tristan went to the Platinum Dragon's Rest.
Oh. Well, I hope it's good news.
Don't know, but he was summoned there, and he went pretty early in the morning.
Gotcha.
Rona, are you sure you won't let me help? I'm very... This is most unusual.
Master Gormrug, please allow me. This is my job. This is why I was hired.
Yep. Yep, it was. It was. Uh-huh. Okay.
As she awakes, Clover is going to remember about her letter and she's going to open it up and read it. I'm just going to skim. I know we're going to skip this, but she reads this letter that her brother Lyndon left her, and she's a little bit concerned about it because he calls her his beacon in the light and says, I will return stronger, ready to stand by your side. And Clover's just thinking, Lyndon has never said this many nice things to me in his life. So she would like to investigate the letter to make sure it's his handwriting, to make sure that it's actually him.
All right, roll investigation check.
Yep.
Guidance.
That is a 17.
I mean, as far as you can tell, it looks like it's Lyndon's handwriting.
Weirdo. She's just gonna shove it in her back pocket for now and go out and eat breakfast.
Okay. Miss Clover, I've prepared a lovely breakfast ensemble for you. I've made croissants. I've made some stew, if you'd like. Do you eat eggs? I apologize, I don't recall.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I'm a vegetarian, not a vegan.
I don't understand those words, but okay. Let me prepare a frittata for you, and give me a few moments.
So, guys, when do you want me to set up the meetings? Well, I mean, if we needed to, we can just go walk to the Lord Mayor's abode or office, whatever, and talk to her then. And then I can just send a message to Vox Machina whenever you guys are ready.
What a wild statement that is.
Particularly
You
have
just
any.
send a message to Vox Machina whenever.
So I'm ready to have the meeting whenever you are.
Same.
Okay.
Oh, I need to go to the Cobalt Soul first.
Okay. Well, in Gormorg, I was gonna say it pays to have connections.
Yeah.
Granted, not the best connections, but connections.
So, has everyone settled back at home? Okay. Whisper, did you sleep okay after everything that happened to you?
Yeah, I slept fine. Right? God, yes. Okay, then yeah, I slept fine.
I'm just gonna start shoving croissants into my mouth.
I feel like everyone's a lot more worried about me than I'm worried about me.
Mm-hmm.
That seems
It does
that
seem
way,
that
yes.
way, yeah.
Oh. You like passed out and like now your arm is black. I think that we looked at you once and your heart, maybe even twice at this point, and your heart was barely beating. I think there's a lot going on with you.
People change as they grow up, right?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I like your new arm.
Me too.
I just don't want it to kill you.
Yeah, me neither. But that's not today, right?
I just worry about you pushing off the problem until it gets too big to handle.
Well, maybe we could ask some people at the Cobalt Soul.
Or I
Yeah,
know.
that's definitely in the plan. Yeah.
Cool.
Or I was gonna say, if we're headed to Vasselheim, there's thousands of people that could help there as well.
See, I think I'm more afraid of somebody like taking me and studying me and like keeping me trapped.
I mean, honestly, I don't see a reason why someone would do that unless they had some weird intention, but you just
Unless
gotta
they
know
want-
the right people to ask.
Yeah, or if they want the blade for themselves, then they could get that by.
And you know what? I can check them out first if that's something you're really concerned about.
Yeah. Sounds good.
We got your back, Whisper.
Thanks. I got yours too. From the get-go.
Hell yeah. God. Whisper, when you and I first met, we met this little weird ice being thing. And now we hear...
Flesh popsicles, man.
Oh, those were the worst way you could put it. But it's accurate, but it's...
I feel like I missed something.
Well, because I was working a job on my way to Western, and Whisper was being chased by this
Ugly
flesh
thing.
popsicle, to say
Yeah.
the least. And so we stopped and helped her out before...
And then I helped you out.
You did. Then we made our way to Western,
And now we're here.
yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. That
Oh,
feels
so
like ages ago.
kind of been ages ago. I guess a lot of stuff has happened in a short period of time.
No, we haven't really had time to be people in a while.
Hey, I got this letter from Lyndon.
Yeah?
And it says that he quit the guard. And he found a refuge in a small village nestled away from the city. But he doesn't say exactly where. Does that sound familiar to any of you guys?
As somebody who has traveled the vast plains as a nomad, would I know what that refers to?
Roll a history check.
It. 6.
No. There's a bunch of little villages that kind of spatter around that don't necessarily have names all the time. So, nope, no idea.
Well, I mean, I feel like I can understand wanting to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, but also the fact that, you know, he was targeted.
Weird because it doesn't even, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't even look like he wrote a return address.
That's weird.
That's
He called me a beacon of hope, which is super weird and cringe. So, anyway, is my frittata ready?
As you say, that is quickly served to you, as is a variety of sausages and bacons and little ham steaks. Commander Whisper, this is for you.
Yeah, I could get used to that.
Not I. This is still very weird for me. Beacon of hope, you say?
Yes. Let's see. He called me the light in his life, a beacon of hope in the darkest times. Said that he has full confidence that I'll emerge victorious, and that this time apart will be beneficial for both of us. I don't know. It's a little lovey-dovey, and we were never really wind beneath my wings siblings.
Well, forgive me. This. Because I know your siblings. I'm just wondering if the letter got sent to the wrong person? Because
he says my name multiple times.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
I was just gonna say it kind of sounds like a.
When?
It's gonna be a weird way to put it, but a breakup note.
I mean, it does give off those vibes, but no, he says my name multiple times in here.
You really think that's Wendy? Come on.
She was kind of obsessed with him.
She was, yeah, but if she was gonna write that kind of a letter, why would she send it to Clover and not,
Oh, I investigated it, and it does look like his handwriting and everything. So I don't know. It's just a little weird.
I'm just
so
saying.
let's put that in the back of our minds. You're just saying what?
How well did Wendy know the relationship you had with your brother? Like,
Wendy didn't know anything.
okay, and I'm just saying it's weird, but maybe I'm just overthinking it, like I do everything. So, just thought I'd put it out there.
Who knows where he went? That sounds good.
So he's acting weird, and we don't know exactly where he went, and could be something's wrong.
Clover, if you want me to send him a message, I can.
Oh, I forgot you can do that. I'm new to this kind of magic.
It is weird that you just have instant access to everybody.
Well, I know you have a lot to take care of, so make sure you talk to everyone you need to talk to, and then if you have any strength left over, then you can send one to him or save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds like he's safe.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like him, and he's just being weird. I don't know where he is.
As long as there's no, like, secret code hidden in the message.
I'm gonna pass the note to Gormrog so you can see it for yourself, but
You cut out there.
just him being a little cheesy.
I hope this letter finds you well amidst the chaos of our ever-changing world. Yeah, this is flowery. This.
You know, until this, I didn't even know he could write. Well,
Balm to my wounded spirit.
Did he get hit in the head? I mean, he did die.
I'm thinking about this. Like he may have been hit in the head.
he did die. I think maybe that could change a person.
But can
Yeah.
that change your level of level of intelligence? Like you said, you didn't even know he could write.
Depends on how long you're out.
It's not like this.
Okay, but yeah, depending on how long you're
Not
out,
an
I would
IE
imagine your
review.
intelligence would go down, not up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if we could just, I'll just remember to ask some of the locals about some of the villages.
Yeah, this reads more as lovers being separated than as siblings. But I don't see anything in it.
I'm gonna eat
Well,
my fruit.
I'll hand the letter back. But
I will grab it with eggy hands.
Did anybody feel like going with me?
I'll go with you. I don't have anything else to do today.
Yeah, I mean, if you trust the Cobalt Soul, I wouldn't mind seeing if they could tell me anything about how to stop the guy who wants to eat my soul. Or person, thing, God.
You say that with such calmness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else. Would it be beneficial for me to be freaking out right now? I don't think so.
Gather library again. I haven't read a book in a while.
Well, I might
So
want to run and do a couple things in town, but I'll head out with you guys, yeah.
there's a couple of archivists who may be able to help you with that. Milika is a human woman. Brunelor is a half-elf man, but they're both fairly old. They've been around a while, but they got a lot of knowledge built up over the years. High Curator, Curator Cassios, they're a silver, half-human, half-dragon blood creature, non-binary. Oh no, that one's female. Sorry. Cressida Holt is non-binary.
That's the one you write to all the time.
That's the head expositor. So the Cobalt Soul is broken up into archivists who keep the knowledge and expositors who go out into the world. Many of them are the ones who deal with the differing leadership roles in Exandria, foreign relations of varying kinds, asset retrieval, informants. That is what I'm trying to be, an expositor. But the archivists just keep and catalog and know. So if anybody is going to be able to help you, it's going to be the archivists. But Cressida Holt is the head expositor, and they're the ones that I have to go report to because, you know, they set up a test for me and I left and haven't been back for like a month.
Do you think they're gonna spring the test on you now, though? Like, are you ready, just in case?
I
think
Yeah.
you're ready.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not anxious at all.
Yeah, it's not beneficial. Let's go.
You finished with your frittata?
Egg all in my face. I'm just gonna press to myself clean. Good to go.
That's really freaking cool.
That would come in handy so often.
All right. Shall we?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to head to the Cobalt Reserve,
Okay.
the domed building in the middle of Westruun.
All right. So, as you all gather together, begin to head out, making your way back into the city, which you have not visited in quite some time. Looking around as you make your way there, you notice that a lot of the buildings have been repaired at this point. Any damage that you had seen previously is, as far as you can tell, been completely reconstructed over or magically reforged. You do notice the odd automaton making its way down the street every once in a while, flanked by one of the guards of the city, which give you a slight nod as you pass by them, acknowledging you and noticing who you are as you walk through. As you get closer to the Cobalt Reserve, you find that while there doesn't seem to be any sort of tension in the air, the streets are a little less busy than you're familiar with, at least what you've seen in this the Scholar Ward previously. There seems to be a little less hustle and bustle around. But you make it to the Cobalt Reserve with little to no issues. You stand outside and you see the typical initiates standing outside the door, two of which you're not familiar with, Gornrog. You enter in and walk up towards the initial desk that is there, and behind it you see a familiar human female, purple hair, seated behind the counter, wearing archivist robes now, as opposed to the initiate robes you've previously seen her in.
Hi, Lily.
Gornrog, is that you? She stands up and begins to make her way out from behind the desk, kind of wraps her arms around your neck, pulling herself up, and kind of kisses you on the cheek.
It's been a rough couple of months.
Well, where have you been? Tell me everything.
Oh, just out in the world, traveling, overthrowing monarchies, getting involved with primordials, the usual.
I want to say I'm surprised, but I feel like that would be doing you an understatement and an injustice. Hello, I'm Liliana. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm assuming these are your friends, the Fists, Gormrug?
Yeah, minus Tristan, who you already know. This is Clover, Finnick, and Whisper. Guys, this is Liliana. We
What
train together.
Well, what brings you here today, Gormrug?
So about so many days, weeks, months ago, as you know, I was supposed to have my expositor test, and I left town on urgent business. So I am coming back to report on everything that has transpired, and how that all came to be, and beg head expositor Cressida Holt for another chance.
Well, I'm sure she'll be happy to see you as well, as happy as, she could be. Um, I mean, you know the way. Did you, did, good luck, Gormrug? Um,
Um, for the record, archivist now?
yes, took my test not too long ago and obviously passed. And now I'm, here.
Obviously. Never had any doubt. How did Alabaster do?
I mean, he passed. It took him maybe, an extra try, but, Alabaster never been exactly one to be prepared to study all the time and do what's necessary, but it is what it is. He passed eventually.
Where's him? Lily, I don't know what your area of expertise is in, but, Whisper here could use the help of an archivist, actually. What do you know about the primordials?
I'm still deciding on my specialty, but I have a passing knowledge as far as typical lore is about them.
And is anybody particularly overly versed? A little too knowledgeable in that area?
Not that I'm aware of at the moment. I can ask around though if you'd like and get back to you.
Whisper? That's
Yeah.
your decision to make.
Sure, that sounds good.
Do you want to divulge any information? Lily's the one we can trust.
Okay, well, so I stole a sword, a blade, and then it's done spooky stuff to me, and then it's apparently carved from the soul of a primordial named Nox, and it wants to bathe the world in darkness and steal my soul, and it took my arm, and now my arm is black and it doesn't feel things. I think that's everything, right?
May I see your arm? Kind of holds on your arm, kind of turning it over a little bit. It's so odd. It's cold to the touch. And do you feel anything? She kind of pokes your arm with a nail.
No. It's kind of cool.
Well, certainly some sort of curse or something, but I don't know like I said, I'm not. This is by no means my field of study. I I'll ask around. What information were you hoping to find?
So, the big scary one that wants my soul, says that it wants to take the blade back from me, but because I'm now linked to the blade, doing that would kill me, and it wants me to help cause darkness everywhere. And I want to know how to fight against that and maybe like still live.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can find, or who I can find, and Gomrag, I'll reach out to you if I find something.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it.
Lily.
Okay. That being
You
said,
okay, Whisper? What?
Oh, are we walking away? Did Lily walk away?
she kind of
Oh,
goes
I would
into
be
position back behind her desk.
walking towards the head expositor's office. I assumed you would be moving with me since you don't need books.
Gourmet. Gourmet.
That's not my name.
Is that the one that you have a crush on? Or more?
Liliana is a very capable student of the arcane and everything else, and I
You should borrow some of those flowery words from Lyndon, because I don't think capable is really going to get you anywhere with, as a compliment.
Wait a second. I thought you had a crush on Polaris.
You can have multiple crushes.
You
you
could
could have
multiple.
crushes. Yes. Yeah, you could have crushes on multiple people.
What'd you say, Clover?
Changes everything. Good to know. So you do have a crush on Polaris.
I mean,
I knew it.
Polaris and I were supposed to go on a date, so yeah, I don't think that's a secret. But to answer the second half of your question, Whisper, Lily and I never had anything like that.
But you wanted it.
Yes, maybe, possibly. No, maybe. No. Yes. It.
Do you want me to go tell her for you?
No.
Oh. Okay. I understand.
No.
I mean,
She
did
made it
kiss you on the
clear
cheek.
that her studies had to come first.
For now.
Well, she passed her test.
Yeah. Maybe
She
when
hasn't
you pass
decided
your
her
test.
specialty. Can I insight check Finnick right quick? Because that's a lot of sass coming from somebody who has not expressed anything
Go
ever.
for it. And I rolled deception.
Deception or persuasion, whatever appropriate stat it is.
I mean, my thing is, I don't know if I'm trying to persuade him of anything, so I would assume deception.
Okay.
Me too.
21.
I rolled a 19 and I have a +3.
Yeah, I rolled a 14 and I have a +7. Fuck. You're probably getting a little hint of jealousy, but also like if he wants to go after it, I won't go after Lily, I won't stop him. But
Lily has always been affectionate, but there has never been any communicated romantic interest. I think she's smart and beautiful and funny, and she was the first person to be kind to me when I came here. You know, Alabasta is an albino lizard folk. I'm, Igno's tusk tooth freak. We were sent to night classes to protect us. We studied when everybody else was asleep. Lily, a human, came into that class and was just nice to everybody. Yeah, I had a crush on her. Yeah, she's still amazing. But she's that way with all of us. There's nothing there. Besides, we got a world to save.
And you have a test to pass, maybe? Are you thinking that you're gonna have a test?
I'm gonna ask for it.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out a little pouch. Okay, well, I'm gonna give this to you if you have your
Mhm.
test, but you have to give it back if you don't have your test. This will help you be a little lucky if you need it.
okay.
And I pass you my Lyrangorn root.
Lyrangorn root.
Yeah.
Okay.
You expend the powder before performing any dice roll to give yourself advantage.
Hell yeah.
Lucky powder. But you gotta give it back if you don't have your test.
Yeah, of course. I won't waste it. Thank you. All right, so this is the office. I'm just gonna knock knock.
Well, who is it?
It is the Everflame.
Enter.
I'm gonna
You,
give one last look to my friends. Here we go. I'm gonna walk in.
as you enter in, her office is much the same as you last saw it, though the stacks of tomes that litter the room appear to have been exchanged out for different ones, and they vary in height and scale. But you see the orc individual of Cressida Holt seated behind her rather monotone-looking desk. She glances up towards you as you enter in momentarily before returning her eyes to the tome in front of her. Gormrog, something I can help you with?
I apologize for my absence. There was a pretty severe attack, and that needed to be dealt with. I've come to turn in my report and request a reevaluation of my abilities and my entrance into the expositorship.
Well, considering you were acting as an expositor already in your absence, I expect for you to give me a full report of the comings and goings that you've engaged upon, any details that we can add into the records. I haven't heard from you in quite a bit of time, so I'm interested to hear this report and what mass emergency there was that took you away from receiving your expositorship.
I'm going to pull out my journal, which is a book I got from the Cobalt Reserve at the beginning of our adventure, and it is now full, with a couple extra pages tucked into it, with notes and annotations, diagrams, drawings, doodles, and a full report of everything that has transpired, from the sniper attacks that destroyed Clover's room to Whisper's family, including the Dragon Rider, who was possessed by a devil, the devils underneath the castle, the terror that struck the entire city, and everything that we experienced along the way, the lightning elemental, phoenix wings, just all of it. Everything has been detailed and noted on, and possible thoughts and conjecture about connections that might have been made. Everything, including Semi-Yor and Raynor, the connections that I know they have, the things that we heard that they have done. Everything is documented. And I'm just gonna hand it to her and say, here's my full report in writing.
Is there any information you're not telling her?
This is literally everything, including extra stuff.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, this is my full report in writing, with a little extra ponderings thrown in. And I would like to request a new book.
As you say that, they kind of reach up their hand, grabbing the book off the desk and kind of opening it and flipping through the pages, just gathering a quick sense of how full this book is, before they reach into their desk, pull out another book, and kind of lay it on the desk in front of them. This time, Gormrog, how about we get our expositor robes before we go and act as expositors?
My friend, you'll see on the day that I left, because everything is also dated, there was a degree of urgency because Whisper had run off on her own, and she was chasing her brother, who was on a dragon and sewing himself back together in the moonlight. So there was a safety concern for my friend that took precedence.
So, Whisper, if I remember correctly, she kind of points. They kind of point towards you, Whisper.
Oh, I thought it was
I would
just Gormrog in
assume.
the room.
Yeah.
What was that?
I thought it was just Gormrog in their
Oh,
office.
I assume you all entered in.
With him.
You're allowed to enter. I just, that last look was just a bracing last look before I focused on her, but I would have left the door open for you to walk in.
As they kind of look towards you, Whisper. Considering he said brother, and the only person I know that would be riding some sort of winged dragon-esque creature, that would make you one of the princesses of Aragorn, I'd assume. And based on what I've heard, only one of them was missing at the time, so that would make you that princess, I'd assume.
You might be having a correct assumption.
Very well.
Whisper,
What?
no longer identifies as that particular individual.
Yeah.
This is Whisper now. And
That's
she is
all
of the
well and
Forging
fair.
Fates. The Fists of Fate.
That's all well and fair. It's just happy to get a little more background into a member who I previously had none on.
It's documented.
That being said, going wrong, your expositor test is ready whenever you are. If you'd prefer to return tonight, we can begin the test and the ceremony if you pass, though I find that if you don't, that would be quite surprising based on the in-depth journal you've kept.
I knew that leaving when I did would be problematic and that a full report would be required in order to maintain any sort of positive standing here. So yes, I would like to take it as soon as possible.
Very well. Return this evening, or if you'd prefer, we can just handle this now. I can have things prepared in a rush if you'd like, though we may skip on some of the more pomp and circumstance for your robes.
I'm fine with that.
Very well. Just meet me in the undercroft, if you will. Give me about an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you. Do you want to tell her about your brother,
Me?
Clover? Yeah.
Oh.
You don't have to. It's just because we had that talk at the table this morning.
I don't know what there is to tell, really.
Just the concerns.
Do you know of any villages around here that, let me pull out this letter really quick. Do you know of any refuges? Oh, he found refuge. 1 second. Do you know of any small villages nestled away from the bustling noise of city life, where there's tranquility and crisp air and the sounds of nature nearby?
Well, there's Timber Mount that's not far from here. It's quite small, but I mean, I've heard that the air is quite fresh. There's several other small towns that litter the countryside that, you know, less than 100 people occupy.
Can I use your library when he's taking a test?
I suppose. Make sure you have an archivist with you so they can accompany you at all times, but I'm sure they'll be fine.
Thank you.
I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
What can I do for you?
Do you have any archivists that are well versed in, like, followers of different deities?
We have archivists that have specialized in categorizing the various cults that form up around deities and the like. Is that what you mean, or?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Dawn Father.
Yes, I believe we have. I can find an archivist. I can't recall their name right now, but I can have them reach out to you, and you'll be down in the library, I assume, with your compatriots.
Yes. Well, Gormog takes his exam.
Very well. I'll have them meet you. Whisper, is there anything you need me to do for you while this all happens?
No?
Okay. Everyone was asking, so I figured I'd step forward and ask you. Gormrog,
Yes.
See you in the hour.
Thank you very much. And I'll usher everybody out.
Okay. And with that, you kind of gather everyone out. And anyone need to do anything this hour before we jump to our break so I can get things prepared for this test?
I'm just doing library stuff.
Okay. All right, then we're going to hop to our break really quick so I can get all my necessary preparations done for this test and get everything else done. We'll be back in a couple minutes. See you guys soon.
And bring me
And-
pictures of Spider-Man.
All right, we're done. End of the game today. We're done.
Stream's not over until I say it's over.
All right, we're back. Picking up where we left off, as you all exit the office of Christina Holt. You have an hour to kill if there's anything particular you guys would like to do. No? No.
Before his test?
Yeah.
Would you rather us do stuff after his test? I want to go do stuff in the library, but I'm going to let you decide when I do that.
I figured all that will kind of line up in the hour. She gets everything prepared, finds someone to come talk to you. So if there's anything you want to do prior to that, I figured you guys would do all your studying during his test.
Gormag, did you want time to study for the next hour?
I'm gonna be completely honest, Finnick. I don't know what this test is gonna be.
I mean, what would
This could be just a quick back and forth conversation. It could be a test of my martial ability. It could be a test of my endurance. It could be a written test. It could be... I have no idea. It could be a spelling test.
You know how to spell expositor?
Yeah, that one I got.
Okay.
If I sound it out, I think I got it. Also, did Gormag say out loud that everything was extremely, detailed and documented? He said everything was... Did you say that out loud?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Gormag, I also just do have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that you documented everything,
Mm-hmm.
did that include my background?
If you're referring to your parents, I don't have exceedingly detailed notes on the subject, but yeah. Yeah, I did include that.
Okay.
Is
Just
that a
'cause-
problem? Do you need me to run in there
Oh.
and rip out those pages?
No, no,
I will.
I'm sure it'll be fine. If she just made a comment about Whisper's past, and I was just, I don't want to say nervous, but nervous, for lack of a better word, as I always
I
am.
understand, and I want to address that if need be. I can go in and stop her from reading it right now. She hasn't gotten to it yet.
It, obviously, I'm not my parents, and
That was documented as well.
don't do the stuff they did. So
Clearly.
what?
I
What?
said clearly.
Oh,
Clearly.
clearly.
Clearly. What?
I
That
thought
is
you
the word
said
I
really
used.
for a second. I'm like, are you
No,
doubting
no,
me?
no, no, no,
You
no,
said-
no.
I thought you said Lily, and I was like, no way.
No, 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 no. I said clearly. The accent was just a little thick on that one.
But no, because I
Your
know
parents burned a city to the ground.
cities.
You saved a burning city.
Yeah, I guess I did. We did. We all did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been on edge since we've decided that we're going back to Vasselheim. So that's been stirring up some emotions and obviously causing some overthinking. So a lot of overthinking.
I figured that's why you were asking about the books.
I'm just wondering if anything else happened by the time, or in the time that I've been gone.
Probably. That's kind of how things work.
Well, it's also that thing where it's like, I don't know if they think I'm dead, or if they know I ran away, or what, but
Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And if need be, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
I was just about to say that. You think I should...
But
I'm gonna sort of look back to Clover and Whisper, and also look back at Grimrog. Should I get a little makeover before we go back to Vasselheim? Or go to Vasselheim?
if you want, there's a salon a few blocks over. I can tell you how to get there. Or we could all go together. I don't know if anybody else wants it.
Well, I know Whisper
I should
changed
probably...
up her appearance when she was gonna face her family, and I might be taking a little inspiration.
I say do it.
I'm probably just gonna shave the sides of my head again because it's starting to come through. But you know, clean up the mohawk a bit.
If you need help with it, I'm not too bad with a razor. I used to help shave my dad's head.
That started out sweet, but then it just kind of became concerning.
Because my mom was a bitch and she didn't want to do it. Sorry, that was out of pocket.
Family trauma aside, I would appreciate assistance because I cannot see what I'm doing. And, you know, as dexterous as I am, an extra pair of hands would be most welcome.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll get some opinions while we're in the library on makeovers. Do you think Lily would willing to help me out? I like the purple. It really suits her.
Mm-hmm. Trying to be really careful about what I say right now. I think Liliana would greatly appreciate you going to her for assistance in that regard.
Gotcha.
And if you would rather, on the other side of town, there happens to be a blue tiefling, Miss Rosalind Temp, who I know is rather adept at looking gorgeous all the time. Marie Lynn is also gorgeous all the time, but less helpful in that regard.
Well, I love supporting local businesses and friends, so.
So, do you want to go now or wait till after?
Well, I still wanted to do some looking around before you took your test, but
Yeah, all right.
I'd refresh on those vocab questions if I were you.
Thank you, Cece, for saying that just as I took a sip of my tea.
You're welcome.
Oh. Yeah, vocab. Uh-huh. EXPOSITER?
See, it's
OR?
that always
OR.
trips me up.
Expositor. Yeah.
I always get confused with the word doctor. But
Suddenly I'm questioning how I spell literally everything.
I'm sure you could find a dictionary in the library.
You know, I'm not sure where we keep them. Like, I know we have them here, but I honestly don't know. I could tell you where the elementals are, the different planes, the history of Western, the history of Exandria, like the chronological order of everything is kept very precisely, but dictionaries, encyclopedias, I couldn't tell you.
If you need help.
Clover's pretty good at finding things.
Too. Both of those things are true.
But yeah, why don't we go look around, see what we can pull up, see if there's anybody around who can assist us, because there is a rule about being in the library. You have to have a archivist with you at all times.
And not
Every individual has an archivist with them at all times.
Very helpful.
It is also very oppressive sometimes, but yeah, it is helpful. I feel like a child when I'm in here, having to be overseen by the chief.
Yeah. You
Can't go anywhere alone.
But if you utilize them instead of feeling like they're a parent to you, you could find out where the dictionaries are.
Hey, maybe Lily knows.
You know what? You guys are being mean to me.
Oh, is that
Yeah, why don't we go ask Lily for some help?
We're gonna go find Lily, Joe.
Okay, easy enough.
Sorry,
They're
Dom, I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
easy enough. They're where you left them, still seated over towards the front desk. They don't seem to turn though as you approach from behind, still focused on the front doors. So
Can glance over at the door. Is anything holding her attention?
no, just keeping her attention where her job would dictate.
Hey, Lily.
Uh, yes, Gornog?
Hey, my test is in an hour.
Okay.
But we would like to explore the library if that's amenable. I don't know how many archivists you have on hand, but if you could assign some to us, I would greatly appreciate that.
Sure. How many did you require?
Well, there's 4 of us, so 4.
Well, Gornog, you won't need one. If you'd care to accompany one of your compatriots, then I don't 2 necessary, but I can order a third if need be.
I don't know if Wisp is going to be doing too much book learning, but yeah, I guess 2 would work.
Very well. Kind of reaches over and rings a bell next to her twice. The 2 rings echoing out before 2 younger aspirants approach, wearing their initiate robes. There's one probably late teenage boy, dark brown hair, kind of a little thin, a little on the thinner side. He makes his way over. His uh, who will I be accompanying? Okay, helpful,
Take your
helpful.
pick.
Okay, you spoke first, dear. What would you care to investigate?
I'm looking for followers or cults of the Dawnfather.
Okay, let's be off then. Bring you over to the deity section and see if we can find anything there. Quickly, there's another younger-looking individual. Kind of, as you look towards them, they look very rotund in their aspirant cloaks. And as they approach, you notice their faces like this brownish green as they make their way over. Still moving rather quickly. As they get closer, though, the beaked face kind of pokes through a little bit of the hooded cloak. Any of you seen a turtle before?
I don't know, actually.
I think I have.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So this turtle-like, you gather, it looks masculine in its turtle features, as most best as it can. Hello. What can I be doing for you?
I think you're the exact person I wanted to talk to. I'm looking for information on 2 different topics.
Okay. What did you say you were looking for? I'm sorry.
Books and information, like, within the books.
Okay. What kind of books, though? Like a topic?
Oh, you didn't hear anything I said. Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking for information on 2 different topics. The first topic I'd like to research is Feywild, and then the second topic is Parangon. I don't know how to spell that word yet.
Okay. Well, let's start with the Feywild first, because that seems to be the most easiest. I'm not sure I know how to spell Harangon either, but I guess we'll sound it out and figure it out. Do you know what language that's in? Maybe it's a translation that I can look up for you.
Sorry, what was your name?
My name's bitch.
An interesting name.
Well, bitch.
My name's Lude.
Lead.
Lude. L-O-O-D. Lude.
Oh, I thought you spelled it a little differently.
Okay.
Lude, the word Harengon would probably appear in the books about the Feywild if what Quell told us was correct. So Feywild would be a great place to start.
Okay. You appear to be wearing your initiate robes, sir, whoever you are. So I'd appreciate if you didn't tell me what to do. I can figure it out on myself. Thank you. Now, ma'am, follow me. Let's.
Call me Clover.
Okay, Clover. Let's go see if we can find you what you need. Okay.
As they walk away,
Oh.
I'm just gonna lean over to Gormrog and say, well, lewd seems to be a little rude.
Many of the archivists are.
Shame.
Whisper, did you want a someone to escort you around the library or no?
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, I'm your man. I will be escorting you around the library at this time. If you would please tell me what you are looking for, I will assist you in finding it.
But didn't that turtle say you shouldn't? Or are you allowed to do this too?
Liliana told me that I would
Okay.
be escorting one of you around, so
Okay. Well, then I'm looking for anything on Nox the Primordial, preferably picture books. And if you don't have any picture books on Nox the Primordial, then just the picture book section. Or the coloring books.
Fun fact, when I was picking proficiencies at character creation, I actually took Arcana as one of my proficiencies. However, Joe and I had a very explicit discussion that because I am not magical, I had to be very specific about what that could pertain to, and primordials was that thing. So, with my proficiency in primordial knowledge, I will absolutely help you find books on the primordials. I don't know if we have picture books, though.
Cool.
Okay. That all being said, I need either three of you or Whisper. You can roll as well. TC, Finnick and Clover roll at advantage for an investigation check, and either Gormrog roll at advantage or Gormrog and Whisper just roll flat.
Let's roll flat.
Let's roll flat.
Yeah. What am I rolling?
Investigation.
And you said Clover and I roll with advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. I got a 19.
Okay. So, as you begin to scour books, you do come across a tome that lists some information about Pelor. You find some history about the various worship that was done with him over the centuries. You find information about his ideals, nothing that you really don't know already. But you find a few tomes, and as you spend this hour, you go through those and begin to pull a few books that you feel may be helpful. We are only working with an hour here, so. But you do have someone with expertise coming to assist you, as far as you know. So these will help speed that process up, Finnick.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say that I know we have time after the hour too, so I'm not in any rush.
Okay, Clover, what did you roll?
21.
21. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
With Mood, you are able to pull a few tomes about the Feywild. You find some information. You find one tome in particular that seems to have information on the various denizens of the Feywild. That seems to have some interest. That you think you can spend some time on and investigate a bit further on. And that's what you get in the hour. So you find a book that looks promising. And what about you two?
We got a
I got
17.
12.
Well, okay. DC is a little lower for you, Gormug, because this is your arcane focus.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, easy enough. You know where these books are. You pull a few books about the primordials. Most of these you've read already. So there's not a ton of new information in there for you. Is there anything in particular you wanted to know about Nox?
A weakness, how they got trapped in the first place, what their ultimate goal is.
Okay. In regards to those, there's not a lot of new information for you. A lot of that's already been, as far as you know, and what matches in the book. A lot of that information's already been told to you. The There is a small portion of Nox's story that relates directly to no, let me just make sure I got this here. Make sure I got the name. There is reference to another primordial called the Essence Weaver. And there is a story about how her and Nox have this relationship with each other that is constantly cycling between like lovers to enemies. It's like an eternal story where they'll spend a time as lovers and then something will happen and they will become enemies, and the cycle seems to repeat over and over again throughout their tale, their mythology.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay. So, as the hour begins to come to a close, you see a elven male, about 6 foot tall, he's short green hair and spikes, built relatively large for an elf, similar to Tristan in frame. Make his way over towards you, flanked by another, whose name?
Firanduil and Elian.
Nope, not that person.
Um, am I right in thinking it's Firanduil?
No,
Firanduil.
no. It's you see a middle-aged woman, human, light blue eyes, silver hair kind of framing her face, very intricate robes adorned with various symbols from different deities to these ancient symbols, some of which you recognize, Gormrog, as primordial symbols, and then there's various other imagery that you are not familiar with that look all like some sort of iconography of various different things. But she makes her way over as well. I am Elder Archivist Valeria. I've been told that you have someone who seeks to have some information about the various cults that have popped up regarding deities.
Yeah, thank you for coming. You're going to be working with Finnick, and I think Whisper would also benefit from your knowledge, too.
Okay. Where is this Finnick?
Um,
I'm probably sitting at a table with like my journal open, scribbling some notes.
Expositor Venrin, if you would escort the initiate to the testing grounds, I would appreciate it. Of course, Archivist. Gormrog.
yeah, man.
Shall we?
Let's.
Okay. With that, Gormrog, you are led off. And Whisper, the elderly human woman, kind of guides you over to where Finnick is. And you all sit down with each other and begin to examine the various subjects that you wish to embark upon. Gormrog,
That's me.
you are led through the library out towards where the schoolhouse area is in the rear of the reserve. From there, you're brought to a large set of oak double doors that you've never been down before. In front of it, you see several other individuals dressed in expositor robes, most of which you've never seen before. They line up on either side, creating a sort of tunnel towards the double doors, which still remain shut.
Thought she said we were skipping the pomp and circumstance.
Let me just change the music. Okay. Standing there in front of the doors, you see the head expositor, dressed in her more formal attire. She looks towards you, Gormrog. Initiate Gormrog, you seek to take the quest for expositor. You will go in with only what you carry on you. Each segment, there will be no instructions. You are to gather, with the evidence presented in front of you, what the task is. Accomplish that task using all of your skills and abilities, and move on to the next. There will be 5 rooms for you to explore, investigate, research, and find purpose in. Are you ready to take this test?
I am.
You understand that failure may result in your death?
I am prepared to take that risk.
She steps forward, face to face with you as 2 of the expositors reach forward and grab the handles of the doors and open it wide. As it opens, you see a few steps leading downwards before black. And as you look towards it, you see no lights ahead. It's just this black veil almost in front of the steps.
Here we go.
Good luck, initiate. And she steps to the side, allowing you a straight path to enter in.
And I do so.
Okay. As you enter in, you pass through that black veil. And you feel your body shudder for a moment as you pass into the arcane barrier that separates them. Your vision adjusting instantly as you look upon a dimly lit workshop. Dusty shelves lining the walls, various containers filled with magical artifacts, ancient scrolls, alchemical apparatuses. You see on the wall opposite you a desk that sits cluttered with various tomes and books in various states of disrepair. There are small containers that are buried underneath, and as you look behind you, there is just a slate wall.
Where I came from.
Correct.
I'm gonna walk through and see if any of the tomes or scrolls are open or bookmarked to any particular pages, and if that has any identifying descriptors or instructions.
As you step forward, you feel your foot hum with arcane energy. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Hmm. Oh shit. Natural 20 plus 6.
Okay. The burst of electricity that erupts from the ground, you see arcane glyphs illuminate just in front of your feet, shooting electricity up into the air. You're able to dodge out of the way, but as with electricity, a few bolts arc towards your body, uh, hitting you with a small bit of electricity there is what I'm looking for. You take 1 lightning damage.
Hmm? Okay.
And you make no progress into the room.
Is the glyph still there?
As you look down, roll an investigation check, or rather a perception check.
That's a 12 plus 3, 15.
Looking down, you see that the entire floor is etched with arcane markings
Mm-hmm.
and various glyphs that kind of tear upwards. Roll an Arcana check.
15 plus 4, 19.
Okay. As you glance at all the various glyphs and symbols, you notice that they become more tightly compact as they go up, and you gather that the spell is probably more intense the closer you get.
To the desk?
Yes.
Is there an identifiable path that won't include me stepping on the glyphs?
Roll a investigation check.
And I will say that in that, I don't know if I can do it yet. Okay. 18.
As you look across the floor, you do notice that there are symbols that you in your studies know means the word safe, and there is a path that leads to each of the both walls where the bookcases are located. There is a few spaces for you to examine along the bookcases, and then there is a pathway that leads around towards the desk.
The bookcases are on separate walls or on the
Correct.
same wall?
There's bookcases on your right wall, on your left wall, and then there's the desk in front of you.
And that third space, where was that?
The third space, I'm sorry.
I thought you said there's 2 bookcases, a space, and a desk that it led to.
There's paths to the bookcase and spaces along the bookcase to examine the bookcase because it
Okay.
reaches the whole
So
wall.
it's not just a direct spot. It's okay. Then I'm gonna go to the left wall first.
Okay, roll a dexterity check for me.
Easy, easy, easy. Dexterity check. 19.
You can also substitute either acrobatics if you'd like.
22.
Easy enough. You are able to make your way over towards the left bookcase without triggering any other traps.
Yeah.
As you make your way to that bookcase, you notice, just with a quick glance, that there is various jars filled with various alchemical components. There are a few containers that you can choose to open or not. I'm assuming you're not touching anything at this point. I'm just going to be
Not yet. It's a cursory identification.
right. There's a few containers on the shelf. There is several books, some of which have their bindings just completely destroyed, whether through being ripped off or age. There's a few books. None of them seem to be particularly of any import in this exact moment, as far as you can tell.
Hmm. These alchemy jars may be needed, but I don't know what's in these books. All right, I'm gonna head to the desk next.
Roll an acrobatic check for me.
14.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
14.
You take 6 lightning damage as your foot barely misses the safe sigil, and you are zapped by electricity as it arcs up your back.
Mm-hmm.
But you are able to make it to the desk.
Just take a second to breathe. All right. What's here?
Okay. Looking across the desk, there is, as I said, several tomes that have been completely destroyed and are spread out across the desk. You see that there is something underneath some of the papers, and that's pretty much all you see in this moment.
Does the something underneath the papers look like a trap?
Roll a investigation check.
The dice decided it no longer wanted to be my friend. It has left the desk. That is a 19 plus 1. Dirty 20.
Okay. As you kind of try and glance around, you don't notice anything that looks like a trap in this moment.
Mm-hmm. So I'll see what it is.
As you move the papers off the top of it, you see this glowing purple dome centered in the desk that all the papers were kind of piled up along. You notice that there are several glyphs etched across the dome in around each portion of it.
Do I know what those glyphs mean?
Roll a intelligence check for me.
Like, I'm wondering if these are like teleportation glyphs, like, and this is how I get to the next room, or if this is like arcane glyphs that's going to shock me again, or if it's, yeah. Ooh, 18 plus 1, 19.
Okay. These are not any sort of magical glyph. They seem to be some sort of some sort of glyph representing something which you're not sure of. Did you roll an investigation check for the desk? I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was the dirty 20.
Okay. You also see a scroll as you kind of move things about. A scroll that is tattered on the ends and tied together, kind of shoved underneath some of the papers. That seems a little different than the rest of the papers that are on there.
Yeah, I'll carefully pull that out and so as not to damage it, but check what that says.
As you pull the scroll open, you notice the same glyphs across the paper, and then you see next to it clues. So on the first glyph, you see bring forth the binding. You see the second glyph is next to it. It says bind all of it together. The third glyph, it says assemble to be one. And then the fifth glyph says, and the order must be upheld.
I'm gonna look, not travel, but look to the bookshelf on the right side of the room that I didn't go to. Do I see book bindings without books in it?
Roll a perception check.
15?
Okay. From where you are, I would say, yeah, you can see the book binding that is laid across the desk, the bookshelf.
I'm gonna look back to the other bookshelf and I'm gonna see the book without the binding.
Okay.
And look down at the scroll. All right. On the shelf without the book, but has the binding, does that have other bound books on it?
There are other books on that shelf, yes.
I'm gonna go back and get the papers, not the binding, first.
Where are you grabbing papers from?
The book without the binding.
Okay.
So I gotta travel back to the left side of the room to get that.
Roll a acrobatics check. Okay.
That's an 11.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm. That's a 10.
You take another 6 electricity damage, lightning damage.
Yep.
But you make it over to the other shelf.
Yep. Grabbing that book. Gonna pick it up and kind of look at it.
Okay. Which
Flip
one?
through it a bit.
Which one is this?
You said it's a book without a binding on it.
Yeah, it's just a stack of papers that are kind of stitched together. The binding is damaged. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it had been ripped off.
Yeah, it's some of them are ripped off, some of them are damaged from age.
Okay. How many of them are there? Is it like the whole shelf is full of them?
I mean, there are some that aren't damaged, or at least have a title visible, like I said before. But there's probably about 7 or 8 that have their binding has been completely destroyed.
I guess I'll put them in my bag.
Okay.
The 7 or 8 damaged books. And then I'm going to go across the room to the other bookshelf.
Roll a dexterity check.
16.
Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
24.
So you take 2 damage.
Mhm.
But you make it to the other side of the room.
Okay. Now I'd like to investigate this bookshelf to see if the bindings match the books.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me then.
16.
16. Okay. As you look around, there is none of the books seem to match the books that you pulled off the shelf. I will say there are various other items on the shelf that kind of look important to you.
Mhm.
Magical artifacts and small wooden cases, etc., that are also on the shelf.
Okay, such as?
There's a small wooden box with that gives off a faint radiant glow. There is a jar that sits on one of the shelves that's filled with this like amber liquid. That as you smell it, it kind of like stings your nostrils. There is a book binding that is there that has no pages in it whatsoever.
Mhm.
And there are like a glowing rock that sits on one of the shelves inside a small glass case, and a few other various things that kind of glow with arcane energy.
So that book binding that has nothing in it. Is there any identifier on it, like a title, inside cover,
As
details
you
on the
grab it,
back?
you grab it.
Yeah.
As you grab it and you flip open, it says "The Way Forward" in the inside cover.
Mhm. Bring forth the binding. The way forward. And you said it doesn't match anything that I have?
Correct.
Any of the 7 or 8 books that I grabbed? None of them.
Correct.
Is there any markings on that glowing box?
As you look towards it with your already past investigation check, there are several runes on it, one of them being one of the glyphs you see on the desk.
Mhm. I'm going to scoop up the binding, the jar of amber, the box, and the glowing rock.
Okay. As you grab the glowing rock, go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
Mother. 21.
Easy enough. You see it begin to pulse with electrical energy, and you instantly put it back down and bursts a little bit. Electricity arcing off the wood, which you were able to dodge the attack.
Just kind of to the ether. I'm going to say this is starting to get a little ridiculous. I'll grab the rest of them without the rock. Fuck the rock. The rock can stay where it is. And I'll bring it over to the desk where the purple glowy thing is.
Okay.
And I guess I have to make another check.
Okay. Go ahead and yes, dexterity check. Sorry.
Yeah, 18 plus 6.
Success.
So bring forth the binding. Here is the binding. And I'm going to put it next to the purple glowy thing.
Okay. You see that one of the symbol begin to glow.
Mm-hmm. Bind all together. So I'm gonna put the jar of amber liquid and the glowing box down next to it as well.
Okay, there's no reaction.
The box has a symbol similar to a glyph on the table.
Correct.
Can I put it near that?
And you place it near it and nothing happens.
Do I know what that glyph means? That rune, whatever it is?
It doesn't have a specific meaning, but it matches up to the line that says bind them all together.
All right, Joe, I'm gonna need an above the table help here. I'm a little stumped. Can I make a roll of some kind to see if Gormrog is able to figure this out better than I am?
Sure. So as Gormrod kind of places down the wooden box, you notice that there is a small latch on it that your thumb kind of opens, and the case opens, and inside you see a spool of thread with a needle.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So that is going to be how I bind things together. What am I binding here?
Roll. So on the desk
The way
there is
forward.
the large domed glyph symbol thing on the center. There's various papers kind of strewn about on the desk as well,
Uh-huh.
and there was the small scroll that was there as well. You get the sense that there may be something that you're missing as an ingredient to this puzzle.
Oh. Looking at that scroll and the papers, are the papers part of a book that needs to be bound?
It appears, as you kind of glance over them, that there appears to be some sort of cohesive story across these pages that
Uh-huh.
would need to be ordered and
And they don't happen to have a number at the bottom, do they?
um,
Page number at the top, perhaps?
I'll say with a quick glance, you're able to kind of gather the order that they're supposed to go in.
All right, so I'll start compiling them in the order they go in, and then take the spool of thread by the glyph and just start binding them as I have learned how in the education here at the Cobalt Library. And then once that is all bound, I'll put it in the book cover. And if it's not enchanted to adhere to itself, is the scroll by any chance a magic scroll that will help assemble this book?
It does not appear to be magical in any way.
The jar of amber liquid, would that by any chance be the glue that would be used in book bindings?
As you kind of touch it, is a very viscous liquid that begins to solidify as you squeeze it between your fingers.
It's tacky.
Yes.
So yeah, I will use that to bind the stitched pages to the backing.
Okay. And then what would you like to do?
I don't know what goes next. What is the scroll? What is that? Was that the one that was like the cipher?
Yes.
Okay. And the pages. So I now have the finished book. It is the pages bound, stitched together, glued to the backing. done. I brought forth the binding. I bound it all together. I assembled it to be one. Order must be upheld. Order must be upheld. Is there a place on the shelf that this goes?
So as you stitch the book together, place it down on the desk, and kind of go over the notes again, you notice that 3 of the runes have illuminated. As that happens, the book begins to go from just this plain leather bounding to a pearlescent, almost pewter steel coloring, with various runes etching its way onto the top of it.
Okay, that's different, but sure.
As you open it up, you see inside of it is written across like a title page. You see Tome of Clear Thought.
Tome of Clear Thought.
Roll a Arcana check.
Hehe. 17.
Okay. You know that this is a exceptionally rare magic item. You've heard about it in your studies. It is used by the High Curator of the Cobalt Soul to help expand their intelligence and give them increased ability to process thought.
Okay. And am I operating under the understanding that as an expositor, I would be expected to return this to the library instead of use this for myself? Or is this suddenly mine?
What? That's for you to decide, I would say,
Oh,
based off your knowledge of the Cobalt Soul.
I would say the first then, because it is my job to collect and deliver, not to use for myself unless given permission. And with no instruction, there's no permission given. So at the very least, I have to try to give it back in order for them to say, no, you can keep this. So again, I'll ask, is there some place that this needs to go?
As you look towards both shelves, there are plenty of places where you would be able to slide this book in, none of them particularly calling a specific space.
And the books, are they alphabetized? Are they arranged by subject? Is there a space for the way forward? That would make sense. I don't know if we have the Dewey Decimal System in Exandria.
Well, the space where you pulled that book from before is still open, if that helps at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Roll a dexterity check.
Staying grounded. Dirty 20.
Okay, easy enough. You make your way back over towards the shelf. Raise the book up towards the slot where you pulled it from before. Slowly slide it into the space, and your vision goes black.
What?
Let's switch over to... Who wants to go first, guys? We'll give Gormrog a little bit of a break as the next person goes. All right, Fennec, you're up.
Okay. I was going to volunteer anyways.
All right. So as you are Whisper is brought over to your location, the elderly human woman joining you, along with the initiate that you had already been pulling books with, Uh, so what was your questions, dear? I just got here. And I understand you were looking for someone familiar with cults, was it, that sprout up around the various gods?
Um, yes, cults, particularly following Palor, or Non-Father, however you address him.
Um, okay. I'm familiar with a few. Is there one in particular you wanted information about, or should I just go down the list?
Um, the main one I am concerned about is the Dawn Riders.
I've heard of them before. Stationed out of Vasselheim, they more militaristic in their beliefs. What specifically were you looking for?
Um, just any of their activity over the past 3 years.
The last 3 years, I believe that they have made their way towards the Dragon's Teeth for a year and a half. Um, from there, I believe they were recalled to Vasselheim, and have been there since.
They've just been in Vasselheim for the last year and a half.
From what I understand, they were recalled by the head of the Dawnfather's temple there.
And his name is? Their name is?
Their name is... I have it right here.
My name's Jeff.
Oh, that's the law bear. Oh.
The head of the temple is named John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
There isn't one. Okay. Oh, I'm afraid I'm blanking on the name at the moment.
So you said they were called back by the head of the temple?
Yes.
Do you know any reason as to why?
Well, I'm not sure you're interested in that particular group, though I've heard some unsavory things about the way they conduct business, so I'm sure
Trust
that
me, I'm aware.
how aware?
Very aware.
What's your name, dear?
My name is Finnick.
What's your last name, Finnick?
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like the way she said that. It doesn't matter what my modifier is, I rolled a 3.
My name is Finnick Nunya.
My name is Finnick Sugma. So I can't really get a vibe. Well, I go by the last name Chriselle, but I mean, I don't see a point in hiding this anymore. Sonda.
So, you would be the Finnick that is in relation to the two that apparently lead this cult, from what I understand?
Yeah, not by choice. And
Well, I would love to get a little bit of history for the that we can expand on the information we have about the Dawn Riders.
I was looking for basically an update on them and their whereabouts as our troop is planning a trip to Vasselheim, and I just needed to prepare mentally.
Well, I would certainly love to hear exactly why you decided to leave, though any insights you can give onto the various escapades. Very little information comes out from everywhere that they visit, so
I'm surprised any information gets out of where they visit.
yes, well,
I will. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
well, then, where shall we start? And then she begins to ask you various questions about your history. She recites some of the towns that you know your parents went to. There's a few that she brings up that you've never heard of, whether they're rumors that were spread outside of them or ones you hadn't heard of, or missions they've gone on that you weren't aware of. She brings up a few like that, but there's a couple different things.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest with her.
Okay. You see her taking notes the entire time, updating the records of the Cobalt Soul. Was there any questions you had for her
For her?
besides that?
If she has any information on one of the priests named Donnie. Donnie Darko? No.
What do you want to know about him?
If that old fuck is still there. Kidding. But not really. No, yeah. Basically his whereabouts and his ranking in the temple.
Okay. She goes on to tell you that he has moved on from specifically being a supporter of the Dawn Riders, and it actually operates directly out of the Dawn Father's Temple now, as one of the upper ranked members of clergy.
So she tells me that he has moved up, but we don't know his standing on them. Or
Right. He's no longer specifically with the Dawn Riders.
Affiliated.
Right.
Okay.
Officially, at least.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's enough information for myself at the moment.
Okay. Whisper, did you have any questions for the archivist?
No.
Okay. All right. Clover. As you begin to go through the books, there is mention of, at least in the more recent history, probably the last 300 years, of Melora acting more directly in the Feywild. There's talk of her creating new peoples there, though there is a note as to more recent of a conflict between the Seelie and the Unseelie court that has been picking up over the last maybe 15 years, as far as the material plane is concerned. How long in the Feywild is a different story. And there's notes on that the exact length of time is hard to decipher because time is wonky in the Feywild. But there is word of factions moving on in both sides of the conflict to kidnap various peoples and try and corrupt Molora's creations for their various sides. But over this course, that's a lot of the information you get. Was there anything particular you wanted to know?
See, now I'm going to move into a different direction. What does this book tell me about what's like Melora's origin story? Why did she go to the Feywild? Why was she making these new creatures?
So that's going to be a different book, but I will, for the sake of brevity, we will go into a little bit. The Dawn Mother, I'm sorry, the Wild Mother, Melora, is the goddess of the wilderness and the seas. So, as she is barred from entering the material plane because of the divine gate, she has a love of sprouting life. So she tries to exercise that as best she can by touching the Feywild because it is so abundant in life. And she will, when she gets bored, essentially, she will create in that space. And she occasionally will hide her true form and explore the Feywild.
What's her true form?
I'm sorry?
What is her true form?
A goddess. So it varies in size and shape. Typically, she is a large onyx-skinned woman. I don't know why I'm blanking on the fucking words. I'm sorry. Onyx-skinned woman, fiery red hair that kind of cascades down into this light blonde, vines wrapped around her forearms, with this large, glowing green like dress. That's typically how she's depicted.
I want fan art of this, and just tag me directly.
And then my last question, the last thing I'm going to do in this book is I'm going to scan all the pages for the word Harengon specifically.
As you scan the pages, the word Harengon doesn't show up specifically, but I will say you do see some notes as to sightings of a new race that has shown up over the last few years that, as I've said, was being experimented on, we'll say, by both sides of the conflict. Okay. Anything else?
I mean, I could ask you questions for the next hour, but I'm not going to. I'm good.
Are you sure you don't want to burn through the rest of tonight's session so that I don't have to fail?
And with that, I'm going mute. Goodbye.
I've also got a splinter, and I don't know how I got it. Here. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're good.
Okay. All right. As your vision returns, you stand centered in a large room. Go on, Rob.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
In front of you, the area is currently a large open plain. There's the slight breeze of wind across the plain, shifting the grass as it moves. You see the air charged with crackling electricity as a figure begins to apparate in front of you. You see a large orc standing in front of you. Axe in hand, his left arm, you see charged with the faint sense of red lines crackling down as magic courses between his fingers.
In Orcish, I will greet him.
Says nothing.
Do I know you?
He holds his hand out towards you. You see flames licking across his fingertips as he shoots a firebolt towards you.
Oh, shit.
Does 12 hit?
No.
Okay. The flame splashes down against the ground next to you, and you see the fire begin to spread across the plains as it catches the grass on fire.
Dry grass. Great. That's not... Why would you...
What do you want to do?
Checking my inventory real quick. If the area of flame is not that big, I'm gonna try and put it out.
Okay. Easy enough at this moment before it spreads too much.
And I'm gonna look at him and say, "Are you the next test?"
As you put the flame out and turn back towards him, he's already running towards you. His axe in hand, he raises it up, and as you ask the question, "Learn to adapt, little one," and he swings his axe down at you.
Okay.
Does 15 hit?
15 does not hit.
Okay.
I'm dodging out of the way of that one.
Down to the ground, kicking up dirt and grass into the air.
I guess this is where we roll initiative.
No need. Just what do you want to do?
I want to hit him.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks.
$23.
That hits.
6 points of bludgeoning damage counts as magical.
Okay, as you hit him with that first hit, you feel your hand burn and you take 2 points of fire damage.
That's fine. Please make a... Where is it? Manage features and traits. Con save, DC 15.
That is a 9.
He's stunned.
Okay.
Next attack would be at advantage.
Okay.
19 to hit.
Okay. You take 3 points of fire damage.
It's fine. 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Just marking off my key points. And where the hell is it? Open hand technique. Whenever you hit with one of your flurry of blows attacks. So you said 3 points of fire damage. I'm going to burn a key point to hit him twice with a bonus action.
Okay.
17 plus 6 is 23.
Hits. You take 2 points of fire damage.
That's 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
But when you are stunned, You automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my open hand technique with that first hit to knock him prone.
Okay.
Because it forced a dexterity saving throw, which he automatically fails.
Yep.
So now he is stunned and on the ground. I'm going to hit him one more time. That is a 16 to hit.
And you take 4 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm. That's 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. You unload on him with various punches, sparks exploding with each hit. You begin to notice as you wail upon his body and knock him prone. Doesn't seem like he's getting that hurt.
But he is prone and
Yep.
stunned.
Correct.
So he will lose his turn.
Yep.
But I'm going to stop at this point and say, I'd rather just talk this out.
That's going to take your whole turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So he is no longer stunned.
His turn would be that he could talk falteringly, and then the stun would end on my turn.
I understand. Oh, this isn't that kind of test, boy. That's
You
going
want
to
to elaborate?
That's going to end his turn.
All right. I'm going to look around the field. Just all directions. Just kind of see what's what.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
19 plus something. Plus 1. Dirty 20.
Okay. It is a large open field. Grass, as I said, swaying. There is grass, there's dirt, there's sky, and some clouds, but not a lot.
There's no items. There's no objects. There's no trees. There's no obstacles. There's no destination that I can
Nope.
see. It's just me and him and a whole bunch of open space.
Endless plains.
Do I see anything on him?
He's dressed in typical barbarian clothing. His right arm, his left arm is glowing with fire elemental energy.
Mm-hmm.
His right hand is clasping an axe.
Can I have that axe?
Can you have that axe? Is that what you ask him?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see his grip tighten around it.
Damn. All right. Actions. Bonus actions.
Roll a intelligence check.
Thank you. 13.
Okay. Based off the last test and this one, you gather that there's probably some out-of-the-box thinking you need to do to resolve an issue in this test.
Yep. Yeah, I gathered that. That's why I was looking for something else besides hitting them.
It typically would be environmental that you would need to utilize based off the last test.
A lot of grass, a lot of sky, couple clouds,
And what else did I say?
wind and dirt. Open field.
I was so worried I was gonna make puzzles that were too easy for you. Knowing how smart you are, I was really worried. So these are really hard. You got to think out of the box. So
Yeah. No, I'm
environmental.
I don't have a brain because I haven't slept in days.
Well, he seems to be fire based. If that helps.
Yep. Yep. So I'm wondering if I should have let the fire take the grass.
Or do the opposite.
Am I playing rock, paper, scissors here? Like,
have you ever put out a fire?
Yeah, but like, do I need to bury him in the dirt? Drench him in water? Like, it's an open plain, but there's no water unless I can somehow make it rain. But without Whisper, I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
There's several ways to put out a fire. I don't know if you've ever been camping. There, typically, you don't pour water on a fire.
I throw dirt on it, but like, the oh god. Someone in chat just said stop, drop, and roll. So he hit the ground and tossed up a lot of dirt, right?
Yep.
So he did that with the axe. I have a short sword. So I'll jump away from him and just kind of stab the sword into the ground and fling up some dirt at him and see if that does anything.
Okay. As you shoot the dirt out of the ground and it kind of covers against his arm, you see the flames begin to die out as it covers against his arm, and the environment begins to shift. Trees begin to sprout out from the ground. Vines dance between the trees as his body is absorbed into the ground. As the scene changes, and you now stand in a dense forest. And that's what we're going to call it for the night.
What? I don't. Oh no.
As you get ready to handle the next part of this challenge. So, that is where we're going to end it tonight. Thank you, everyone, for this episode, joining us. I'm going to post the Gamer Awards in the chat. If you would please vote for our amazing gem for Creator of the Year. Just click the link, sign in with your Google or whatever it is. Then go to the vote little tag and click the heart next to Gem's name. It's in alphabetical order, super easy to find. Links posted in the chat now. Anything going on this week that I need to remember? No, I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Next week,
I'm back in my... What?
No, I was just going to say what you were going to say, so. Next week.
Well, yeah, next week I'm back in my regular studio, so audio will be better, cameras will be better, everything will be better. Apologize, I thought things were going to work out better on this vacation, and I have a computer that was able to operate the way I needed it to operate, and it was not. So, I apologize, but thank you all for sticking with us. Next week we have Queer and Present Danger. Yes, no?
Yes, because
Yes.
my mouth is feeling better.
Yay!
Yay, so we have Queer and Present Danger back next week. And Forging Fates on Monday?
Yep, Forging Fates on Monday. Do we have spell shots next week?
I don't think so. Wait, let me check.
I don't know.
This is why you should be in our Discord, because
Yeah.
I have this all written out there. Yes, next week we do have spell shots on the 6th. So the 5th, 6th, and 7th we will have a show at our usual time.
Busy week next week. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to bring us to tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We love you, geeks. Good night.